Hello and welcome to the 31st episode of the Talking Wednesday podcast. The season has well and truly begun. I am Dexterity Box, joined as always by Punk Chef 41. I'm going to have to start saying from Dexterity Box soon if we keep making this content.
Yeah.
Weird stuff. Because that was the original plan when I made the channel years and years ago, but it's a good thing. It's a good way to do it. It's still, but I am doing more main channel videos now, which is fun.
You are?
But how's your week been, Punk?
Up and down.
Up and down?
Yeah, just a weird one. It's just health-related issues and stuff. I am in the middle of doing Punk Chef 41 2.0.
Which is
slowly getting there. Which is a shed that's getting demolished and then getting something built there. I've got a skip coming Monday. It feels like things are all a go at the minute. Mm-hmm. But how the hell are skip's 230 quid?
They're just
that's without me paying the 17 quid for putting it on the road.
It's when you think about how much things cost. We had this whole conversation where I'm waiting for timestamps now for the waffle. But
yeah, same.
The chair, when I needed a new chair, and I looked at how much chairs cost.
Yeah, same.
I was like, "Are you taking the actual mick?"
Same.
They're ridiculous. Your chair looks quite nice.
It's very, very comfy. It's better than my other one. My other one looks like I was an old executive working at a really weird company.
I need a new chair because I got
a chair.
You know my big comfy one that broke?
Yes.
I got this one in. And honestly, mate, it makes my buttocks feel like I'm sitting on cement for 6 hours. It's horrible. It's actually like it's meant to be one of those desk chair. I got it quite cheap, which was fair. But like the back support, oh great, it's got lumbar support, wonderful. But then
you get down to the legs.
You actually sit on it and it's just not comfy. Right. And it does that thing where we're so old. It does that thing where you sit for a while and then you stand up and you just feel the whole shooting pain right up your backside and your back.
I had it on my old chair that I would stand up, and the moment I stand up, my back would crack.
Ooh, epic.
And I was like, that doesn't sound great.
Well, I've got like a seat cushion and then a cushion on top of it and the Pokemon cushion. No, yeah, I've got an actual like cushion.
What are you, Princess and the Pea?
Well, I've put two layers of buttock protection here, and it's still painful to sit on. So it's I need a new chair.
Buttock protection is basic squeaky bum time on the 90th minute being a Wednesday fan.
Pretty much, but I want one of those.
You could sell them in the club shop and say people can have it for when we get to the 90th minute.
We don't need that anymore. We're bossing the league. It's all good.
Yeah.
We've got nothing to worry about anymore, as we'll go into shortly. But this is the Talking Wednesday podcast. This is the community speculation and news podcast, and anything we feel like it being on that specific week. We, if you want to support us, we've got memberships available. Click the links below. There's a join button below. You can also leave super thanks on the YouTube video if you quite like this podcast, and if you're listening to us on audio services, make sure you go check out our other platforms to support us there. You can also leave reviews on Apple Podcasts and anywhere you can find the podcast pretty much that has reviews. No new ones that I could find this week, so we will gloss over that one. This podcast is now coming to you on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
We said it was going to come. We're actually recording this on Sunday this week, but usually this will be recorded on Monday nights.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling in about 40 minutes from recording this podcast, we're going to get people going, where's the podcast?
Yeah.
We did say last week, though, this might be the week we move it. And I did tweet out that we are moving it.
We tweeted, we community posted it, we mentioned it in shows.
Yeah. We haven't Discorded it, but the Discord is there, right? I'm going to put another link up today. I'm going to make it a less limited link this time because it expired.
Growing quite a lot as well, and some good conversation in there so far.
Yeah, we've sort of like, we stress tested it with like 30, 40, 50 people now as we've clawed in. I don't even think there's that many in there, to be honest. I think there's, because we got all our members in first and then we had a load of people come in. Yeah, we've got about 30 people in there at the minute that are quite active. So let's get I'm going to open the floodgates this week, and I'm going to put a link that's going to be active for a couple of weeks. So just join. Actually, it's not even going to be. I might put an unlimited time on it, but I might put like 100 entrants in it. Yeah. So
it'll also be handy when we do specials, because that'll be what we'll be using to get people on for call-ins and stuff.
And speaking of specials, we might have to do something like that next week. We might do something like that, but I also have a lineup of potentially someone coming on to talk about something a little bit different. Now, next week, I'm away next weekend. I'm away actually until the Tuesday. So it means we'd either have to delay the podcast, which might happen. The podcast might delay a day, and I'd let you guys know. Or we might find something to fill the gap. Just something a bit different, and then we'd edit in the updates sort of thing. Because where I'm going, I can take my laptop, so I can.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you do your match review,
send it,
and you send it me and stuff, we can put it in. We can still like have up to date analysis of things, but we have got the match reviews going around, so make sure you check them out. We put them out as a YouTube short. We put them out on all platforms now.
Thank you for the response on the shorts. They're doing really well.
They are indeed, yeah.
I think people like that little digest. There's just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when I edit out your pauses, which is brilliant. Like,
I used to think I was really bad at pauses and stuff. I now listen to Darren Moore. I'm fine. I'm golden.
Yeah.
Darren Moore with the it's like it's in his vocabulary.
At least it's not as such.
Yeah.
As such. Let's get into an actual Wednesday podcast, shall we?
Yeah.
I'm saying a little bit this morning. Apologies. It is morning when we're filming this.
Yeah.
Just because life's getting a bit mental these past couple of
weeks.
It's
getting hectic.
But it is. So, let's start with Charlton. We did talk about this, and we did put in the match review here. There's not really too much to talk about. It was sort of a...
both teams cancelled each other out. It felt like the first season... It felt like a bit of a pre-season without being a pre-season, if that makes sense. The only bit you could have had for us is the injury to Patterson really dictated how we played for the rest of the game. I thought Canberra had a very good 70th minute when he did come in, because he did the job. I thought Green looked a bit off. A lot of people talking about Green not there yet, and I'll speak more about that in the Donny section as well. But apart from that, there was nothing to talk about. It's just that whole thing. We knew we needed a striker. We knew we needed to improve the service, and it was just one of those first games of the season where both teams were just trying to suss each other out, and there wasn't much for either keeper to do. Bannon with that last attempt, though, was fantastic, where he getting both those defenders.
And ran through, yeah.
Ran through.
I love Barry Bannon. I've always loved Barry Bannon, and the fact that the loving's happening again with the fan base. I
had a comment on one of my videos about when Barry Bannon would go, like, what does he offer? He doesn't offer anything. We should get rid of him now.
I've said it for a while now, but if you don't rate Barry Bannon as a Wednesday fan, you don't watch the matches. That's pretty simple. You know, as somebody who watched him all last season and was sticking by him in the fact that he was the only player that could make things happen. And the counter argument always is with Barry Bannon, but yeah, he tries to do too much. We've got Barry Bannon, who is pretty much a Rolls Royce in League One. He can do whatever he wants, and he showed that yet.
Last night on the Quest, so I watched the highlights as well. Oh, what's he called?
I don't
Manager
know.
Blackburn.
Oh, Ian Holloway.
Ian Holloway basically said he shouldn't be in that league. He's a championship or even a premiership player coming off the bench. He's way too good for it.
I think he's better than going to the Scottish Premiership, Punk, unless you mean the Premier League.
Premier League. I'm never going to get that right.
No, you're not.
But
Boomer.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, let's talk about Donny, shall we? So, bit different that one, wasn't it? And let's do the tradition. Yeah, you go first. Go for it.
The first half, I thought we both kind of equaled each other out. They had chances, we got forward, and both teams had the similar thing of losing possession a lot and not being able to keep it. And the problem we had in that first half, we were so deep. We were just inviting pressure after pressure after pressure. And Peacock fouling that, it just, he knows how to handle it. And you know what the best thing about this season is so far for me? That defence looks solid and organised. They are so organised that it's untrue. Palmer and Green had a good little relationship going. Hunt and Johnson also, same thing. The thing with Green in this game, though, he got Bell where he's great and he's fantastic going forward, but his end product is so lacking. And I'm hoping that's something that Darren Moore can get into him and say, look, we need to improve this now because this isn't working, because he lost possession a lot. But going to that second half, we came out the traps, we went for it, and what changed it for the entire game was the subs. The subs were key. Byers comes on, pretty much first this touch, gets it to Bannon, and that was a rocket. And he just placed it. But what we said last week was Barry Bannon is missing goals out of his game. That is what he's missed out of his game for years, is goals. What a way to get the roof off that place, because it erupted. As soon as that went in, it just erupted. And then to go and get the second, a quick ads for Dennis Adirian. Have I said that right?
Not even close. Carry on. Adeniran,
that's it. If I hear it,
I was letting you roll. You even did it on the match review last night when you sent me it, and I was like, I'm just gonna let it roll. Go for it.
But I thought his goal was a little bit lucky. He didn't really get a good connection on it, but went off the post, and we controlled it after that. And soft penalty, not a penalty for me at all. Hit the post, missed the rebound, and we managed to seal it and win it 2-0. And it started that nice feeling in the ground, and people going out with smiles on their faces and being able to go, right, we've had a good game. And it just sets a bit of positivity. Yeah, we're still missing that clinicalness. Canberra had a great game. He is so good at holding the ball up, and he got little bits of flicks and tricks, but he's not someone who can be there to hold up. He needs someone in front of him. Darren Moore's already said he's going to play like just in behind a striker. That's where he wants him. And I think that'll work well for him.
Yeah, I think it was the first half could have been anyone's. I think Donny fans obviously were sour because they were calling it a derby. I find it a stretch when Barnsley try and call us a derby. Donny is not a derby. It's just not. I guess it's no, because I'd say even Rotherham's more of a derby, and Rotherham isn't a derby either. There's 2 derbies for Wednesday. I mean, technically there's only one, but the Leeds one's quite fiery.
It's Leeds and United.
Yeah,
Sheffield
exactly.
United.
But it's the second half was just clinical. It was a professional performance, and Barry Bannon's been tempting those. They didn't work all last season, but if he can get some of them in this season, I'm living to see it. The Adeniran goal for me was obviously a bit of fortune. It hits the inside of the post and goes in.
Yeah,
but
you've
got to be in the right positions, and our press was better. I will say, I think it was the first half, what we were talking about Palmer being on that left-hand side. He did really well. He played really well. He was making things happen.
He's better on the right.
But because there was about 2 occasions where he bombed down. He beat the fullback, right? And he went to. You could see that he needs to first time whip it, but because it's not on his strong foot, he has to stop, cut inside and play it back, or cross it. And because of that, on the second occasion, he lost the ball.
Yeah.
When actually, if he was on the right hand side, he beats his man. You can just hit it first time and get the first time crossing. So I will say that still frustrates me, but it's just the way we're going to have to deal with it. The fact is, Palmer's just going to have to deal.
He'll play anywhere. He loves the club. He could go in net for all he cares. He love playing for the club.
We'll talk about him a little bit later on anyway.
Johnson, I thought Marvin Johnson had a great debut. He looked very solid. I loved Lee Gregory just taunting in front of the Donny keeper after Bannon goal though. I thought that was classic, winding him up. I don't like it, but I like it, if you know what I mean. It's one of those things that I like to see a player go, yeah, add that kind of thing. And it's a weird situation at the minute because there's such positivity. And the scary thing about the team hasn't gelled yet. The team is not gelled yet. And that midfield is already running really good. People wondering where Joe Byers was going to fit.
Mm-hmm.
We know where he's going to fit. That touch to Bannon, they could be a good little partnership in the middle. My thing, where does Massimo Longo get into that midfield now?
That's the difficulty. That's the great issue. That's a great issue to have.
But the rotation, we're going to need the rotation. I could see Mass playing on Tuesday night against Fleetwood, rest some legs.
What was that penalty given for? Because it looked like it was.
I have no idea.
Because it looked like
I thought it was for the pull on the shirt by Hutchinson.
Yeah, because Hutchinson had hold of his shirt, but it wasn't big enough. You look at the contact, and I've even watched it back, and I go,
where's the pen? Yeah.
Where's the pen? Like, was there a handball? Because he sort of like the ref sort of walks to him and he's like looking to tap his hand. So I don't know.
Didn't see it.
I want to issue a warning on because you're playing into this a little bit as well, right? We're very much lining up Green to be our next scapegoat when we said at the end of the season after seeing him twice that he was the next best thing since sliced bread.
He just needs to work on his final finishing.
Yeah, but it's because he's not the new best thing anymore, and we all thought he was going to rip League One apart. We're forgetting he's a 22, 23-year-old lad.
The thing is, remember how little games he had when he came to Wednesday.
Exactly.
And then he got injured, and he'll come good. He has the ability to do that. He did it at Villa.
I'm just like, our fan base doesn't learn, right?
No.
Because straight over, I mocked everybody else on there because they were all going, can't believe Green's starting. Green's Green
had really good phases.
So I just put
really good phases. He just needs to work. The thing is, under Darren Moore's team and coaching, they'll see what the problem is. They'll analyse it and say, you need to do this. And you've always seen bits of it where he's already improving. Also, Barry Bannon, get off free kick, give it wing. You hit the wall twice.
I don't know though, because he can put them in, but but Wings seems to have better delivery, doesn't he? So But as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. I tweeted Green hat trick incoming because I'm sick of seeing us trying to make new scapegoats every season. We don't need them. Just get behind all the players, right?
Yeah.
Green's because what'll happen is Green will come good, and then he'll have received so many pelters from Wednesday fans. He'll be one that leaves.
And then we're like, oh, we missed him. He was decent.
Adam Aaron started the ground off really well. Yeah. He started off really well, so the fans have taken to him.
Very positive.
Green, it's taken him a little bit of time to get into it. Come back to me after 10 games and stop opening and closing your bottle. Just leave it open. Leave it open. Leave it open. The professionalism on this podcast. Do you know how much I have to edit out when Punk's like... Yeah, right. As I was saying, you've thrown me off now. Adam Aaron, it'll come to him, but 10 games, Green, it'll come to him. That's when I can start judging players like that. Okay? Yeah.
It was good to hear Adam Aaron's interview because he generally was sounding shocked at how loud Hillsborough was. You could tell when he was speaking like that's not something he's heard before as a kind of thing. And you got to remember there's a lot of players here who had never played in front of a Hillsborough team, a Hillsborough crowd. So that in itself is lovely to hear.
The one thing I heard wasn't great. Luckily unscathed, but not everybody came out of it unscathed. There's a few people that have started to develop some symptoms. So I will say if you are one of the people that's lied about a lateral flow or you've gone in with symptoms, you are a bit of a scumbag, guys. And we don't want that in the fan base because there is some people that have come out of it, which we've heard from our audience. A couple of people are suffering symptoms today.
Yeah,
from the match. So if you are feeling like, I knew that was going to happen though. I was really concerned about it, right? Because I was like, I understand how important football is, and you do not keep people away from Hillsborough, right?
No.
But you've got to have that restraint, right? If you are going, oh well, it's just a cold or something, we're not in that situation.
No, it's not in that kind of thing. Also, to the 15, 16-year-olds who were trying to start fights with Wednesday fans from the corner, well done. Your parents need to pick you up now. You're done now. Go home. with your Stone Island top wanting to have a crack with everyone.
I remember buying this.
I heard one comment, and it was this bloke, and he literally turned around, said, "I'm old enough to be your dad. Go home."
I realized when I was old, when I got a Stone Island jacket, and I was like, just because it was warm, and I would needed a winter coat, right? And it would look like a quality coat. And then I had, I realized that this is because my sister's a few years younger than me, and she went, "You've got a Stony," and I was like, "What?" And she was like, "It's kind of chavtastic now that, you know, like back when I was younger, that's the sort of
townies.
When we were younger, it was like Lacoste and Mackenzie, and apparently Stoney's taken that crown.
It's a shame for
I was like, I just want a coat.
That's a shame for Pep Guardiola, though, because he wears a lot of their stuff all the time. You see it on the touchline.
He does, actually, yeah. Anyway, we haven't got a brand deal, so we can start off.
It was a good game, and it'll improve. It's a team that just... Once this team gels, I think we could be scarily good. Personally.
I agree. And speaking of, let's get into the news section of the podcast.
Yes.
So, Hutch, Joe Cran's updated that he's not actually signed an extension on his contract. He's just signed a new deal. He signed sort of like wages. An improved terms.
Yeah.
I don't think, when I posted about this and what I'd heard as well, is this kind of like, yes, he's done that, but there was a clause in the contract that it was pay as you play, and now he's gone to more of a solid contract. So technically, it's not an extended year thing, but it is sort of an extension in a way, because he's no longer on a pay as you play. He's not on a, you know.
Not gonna lie, since he come in, his fitness has been quality, and his discipline. Yeah, his discipline has been superb. He's a centre back.
This goes out on the Tuesday now. Watch him snap someone in half on Fleetwood and snap his leg in the process and get a red card.
And then you can put in the comment, blame Punk.
And it'd be all your fault.
Yeah.
It'd be all your fault. Right. Yeah. Josh Windass, bit of good news. Josh Windass has extended his new deal. This is from the Owls website, I believe, because Punk's not sourced it, so it better be if he's not sourced it. Josh Windass has put pen to paper on a new deal with the Owls. The forward's new contract means Windass has now committed to Wednesday until the summer of 2023. Windass joined Wednesday on loan. Yeah, all of that. Windass said, quote, "I'm pleased to get this done. I feel settled here. The manager is great and one of the best dressing rooms I've played in. Promotion is what we want this year, and that's our expectation. We aren't scared of saying it. It's one of the biggest clubs in Britain. The fan base have been brilliant with me since I arrived, and I'm looking forward to playing in front of them again this season." So the great thing is we're scoring even without him. The fact is we've now got Windass on a deal, and when he comes back in, we've got some. We've not even spoke about in our match thing the fact that we've got Windass waiting in the wings when he comes back.
To be fair, when you look at what we've got Canberry, we've got Gregory, we've got Corbino, or however you say it, Corbinu, and Windass. That's pretty solid up front. Oh, and Sal, who's just starting, which I've just remembered, because he's a striker who came out of nowhere. Yeah, he's done more games up front than he has wing.
Yeah.
But then you've got that to come. So it's very positive. And hearing Windass talk about his injury, he's not negative. He's very positive about the situation. So, yeah, I'll get it through. And I think that one situation that happened with Pelopessi and Moore sitting him down, he got to know what Moore was in terms of a manager and what kind of person he was. And I think that helps him buy into it and go, right, I know what you're about, done. And if that's your relationship, brilliant. Everybody knows the relationship he got with Baz and Barry Bannon family. He's very close to them. And they can only get better. For us.
Yeah. It's a good bit of business. It's weird. Wednesday seems to be doing good business, and I'm not used to it.
It's strange. We're running it like a proper football club.
We are. The one thing that we might be a bit worried about is Liam Palmer's been getting interest and very credible links to Nottingham Forest. It's not developed
now
as much.
Forest have now signed a person in that position now.
Well, that's okay then, isn't it?
I'm wondering if this was put in by agent to start talking about new deal. Because they're talking about new deal for people and he didn't end the contract. So I wonder if it's been one that's been put out by agent.
Yeah, it could be. Let's look at the. Let's have a look at the actual practicalities of Liam Palmer leaving now. So if Palmer, I can't see it happening because he's been at the club for over 10 years, you know. And yes, we've been talking about we think he should play on the right because it's his stronger position. And it might annoy him that he's not playing on the right, but I don't think he's that kind of lad. I think he's played for the club for so long, he'll go as long as he's in the team because he's now. I know there is people that will disagree, but for me, you just use Palmer's in the side no matter what, pretty much.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea if we are going to play Palmer on the left, have Brown in there as well to do the overlap with him. That works for me.
And he's also got to remember when he first started, he was a midfielder.
Yeah.
He started a career in midfield and he managed to work his way into playing anyway. I think he played everywhere at the back. I think he's done centre back as well. So he quality great. And people will disagree with us. It'll turn into the Pelopessi situation again and say he's rubbish, he's trash. But Palmer puts 100% in every game. He'll run log causes down. And the thing is, he's one of those players that if we lose him, you'd be like going, who can fill that gap?
Yeah, exactly. And there is still, obviously, there was the interest there. It's gone a bit quiet. They have signed the player. They might want Palmer, though, because Palmer would definitely fit into that Forest. And Forest aren't doing great.
No, the bottom.
So they could definitely do with somebody of Liam Palmer's quality to bring in at fullback. But I don't want it to happen. I really don't want it to happen. I think it'd be awful.
I've also got the other thing where people have said about, and this is going back to the Barry Bannon thing, say Barry Bannon and Josh Windass and Palmer, like saying sell Josh Windass. And so my whole thing is you can sell him, but we can't reinvest that money according to report coming out. So what's the point? If we can't reinvest that money straight away, there's no point selling him. Because everything said, we can't sign players for cash.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't see him wanting to go, to be honest.
No.
This team are firing. You know, we're a league below, but he's been in a championship struggle last season. He was arguably one of our best players during it. How about when we've got this young and exciting team coming in with this rebuild? He is now part of that rebuild. And if he goes, it doesn't make sense because we've got the depth now. We've got Palmer, Brown, we've got Hunt, and we've got... who else? Who's our other fullback? I mean, Patterson can play at right back, but...
Patterson. We're missing one.
I don't know, but it's just gone in my brain as well. But it doesn't make sense to lose another fullback because there's actually talk. People are saying we should bring in another fullback on loan. That should be one of the Premier League loans we look for, you know, so we've got cover both sides. Because I think I might...
Brown, Gibson, Hutchinson, Iorfa, Dunkley. No, that is all of them.
Yeah, exactly. I know Iorfa can play on the right, but it'd be a waste to put Iorfa on the right, and Gibson's come back in as centre-back cover. So, yeah, technically, we lose Palmer, our numbers are down. I don't think it'll happen. But one thing I do want to talk about is, should he have a testimonial?
Yes. I think if Palmer has a testimonial, and knowing what Palmer's like, he'll ring up all the lads who left without saying a proper goodbye and saying, you're on my team.
I'd love to go to that. I'd love for us to actually start doing things like that. Palmer, the problem is, I know...
Palmer's 29 now, isn't he?
I think he
29,
is.
30. Palmer's the kind of player I can see if when they say we're letting you go and going, right, I'm done with football now, I'll go on to my next adventure. I can see it a little bit, even though he's still a quality player.
I don't know because there's still this. I don't think he would because I reckon he could still get in that Scotland squad. So I think Wednesday. Yeah, he's 29. He'll be 30 in September.
If we can get him on another 2-year deal, I'd be happy.
Yeah. I don't think the club will offer him 2. I think they'll offer him 1.
1 with a possible extension and keep having him 1. Yeah, we are starting to be quite clever with contracts in that sense, where if you're over a certain age, you only get it. It's like the Chelsea way. Once you hit over 30 at Chelsea, you only get 1-year extensions.
Well, I think Actually, we've signed Hunt, who's 32, and I think Palmer's better than Hunt. So yeah, I'd be happy with the 2-year extension.
Yeah,
I'd be. I think the problem is, like, if we announce a testimonial, everything for him, there is still a segment of our fan base who just doesn't watch him and doesn't see what the player has become, and it's people in our community as well. I'm not going to lie, like, I have conversations with some people that I'm like, seriously, guys, just watch his play.
Yeah.
I remember, right, the other week I tweeted, mate, that I said, sorry, when this Forest thing got linked, it wasn't even another week, it was this week. I put, Hunt is, sorry, Palmer is better than Hunt.
I saw the conversation.
And people were like, this is like one of your worst ever takes. I expected, like, I think someone said something like, I expected better from you. And I was like, I'm sorry, have I just hit your sainted mother? But it's it's a case of like, I don't get it. Because yes, Hunt was a better player than Palmer. But we have also said that Palmer's got the edge on Hunt now for me. I think Hunt's on the decline. He's great for this level and he'd be good in a championship side, but Hunt hasn't got that much left in the tank, I don't think.
I had it off somebody who was saying, if Palmer was that good, why aren't people always coming for him? Because he's always been solid. He's never been stand out. He's always just been that solid player. He's not this player that you go, oh, you was a standout. He's just there.
And the first season he actually does like start to show off a little bit was last season, and now Forest have coming in. Exactly. So I don't think he'll go, but it's worth mentioning just in case he does, because it could be, the window is still open, and Forest definitely could do with him, but I don't think he's going anywhere.
There's 2 weeks left until the window's shut, so be interested to see what happens.
Exactly. Quick mention of the Wednesday are doing all the COO stuff. You know, we're doing all our hospitality packages. There's the boxes coming in. There's
nearly sold out of them as well, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of match day stuff with 3-course meals, all of that. Just, it looks like we're getting our house in order in terms of the hospitality sector.
And just give credit to Liam Dooley. He's like, when he first came in, everyone was like, oh, he's a yes man for Chancery, going to do this. So far, it looks like he's doing everything that's right, and got to give him credit. And it's what I've heard, he's actually having bits where he's butting head with Chancery, but he's getting it right. And that's the main thing. And I don't think you get the Sherlock deal, the shirt sponsor, the shirt manufacturer deal, or the new ticket prices without him beating the drum going, come on, we need to do this. You can't keep it at this. And credit for Chancery for listening. Yeah,
for sure. And another thing, Chancery is letting Darren Moore bring in whoever he wants, and Simon Ireland has come in as a new coach for Wednesday, replacing Paul Williams. Ireland has been at Forest and Reading. He's got some experience there. Bringing in, and I like the fact that Darren Moore seems to have quite a bit of control over what he wants. There's talk about him having the best relationship with Chancery since Carlos had it. So that's what we want to hear.
I've been told the relationship that may even be a little bit better,
which would be great.
Yeah.
I'm really optimistic about Wednesday at the minute, and it's such a lovely feeling to have back. I don't know, like this
weird.
It's been a weird year it's nearly going on 2 now, isn't it? Like in general in the world, and Wednesday plummeting in that was kind of like, I forgot what it felt like to get to the end of a match day and think positively, like we're not fighting for anything. I actually feel like we can push again, and it really lifts. And it's weird that it took relegation for us to feel positive and have this rebuild that our club's going in the right direction. But a couple of matches in, I am starting to feel like, and don't get me wrong, there will be bumps along the road. We could lose our next couple of matches because this team are still gelling, you know. And I think in the League One, you can't take anything for granted because we've got younger players and we're going to come up against some physical sides.
Yeah.
But I'm just feeling optimistic about Wednesday again. It's such a nice feeling to have.
It just feels like things are being listened to now a little bit more, and the fans are being treated a little bit better. Yes, I know some people have got the season tickets late. I know some people say there's still bits and pieces where the club is not fully staffed. It's not fully staffed, so there's going to be bits that slip through the cracks. And like I've seen some people say, well, other clubs do this. Well, that's other clubs. That's not us. And just remember, other clubs run things differently. Like, people were annoyed that they couldn't get shirt printing. Like, skeleton staff at the club store. So it is what it is. But after all the years fans are giving him pelters and stuff, give him a bit of credit because he's doing the business and letting him do stuff.
And he's doing it quietly.
Yeah.
You know, we said that. It's almost as thank you for taking the video and having a chat with your dad. Because he, everything we said in that video about upon relegation, when we talked about what needs to happen with the ownership, I said he either needs to leave or he needs to step back and he needs to fix things and bring the right people in around him and do the right things and take himself out of the spotlight a little bit, but make the positive moves in the club, right? Because as I said at the time, I'm willing to give people in general, just chances to redeem where things have gone wrong a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And if they can accept that, for me with Chansiri, the first step was that statement, accepting responsibility for it. And then he backed off and we haven't really heard from him since then. And he's just been doing things the right way.
Background chairman, what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the positive has got to go in there still. He's going to take a while I don't think the full fan base will ever come round. But if you sit on it and you actually look at what's happening with the club, you've got to be happy to see the club moving in a positive way. And if we keep on winning, that's going to appease most people anyway. Yeah, exactly. So, well done. Sheffield Wednesday have signed Silasau. The Owls have signed...
Well done, Wednesday Twitter media team as well. I thought that quite clever.
Yeah, the surprise Silla thing. It gave me an excuse to use a Cilla Black gif on a football thing, and I never thought I would. But, yep, they've signed Dutch forward Silasau. So can operate through the middle or out wide, becomes the latest addition in a busy transfer window for Wednesday. The 25-year-old began his career with FC Utrecht in the top division of the Netherlands. He won the under-21s Eredivisie with Utrecht's young side before switching to fellow Dutch top-flight outfit RKC Waalwijk in January 2019. South spent 2 years with Waalwijk, nearly playing 50 games before leaving at the end of the season. So I didn't mean to do it that time, but yeah, we've signed So. Yep. What do you think?
Looks like a pretty good free transfer. A lot of people though credited his record in front of goals not great, but let's see what happens when he gels. He's ours for 2 years. It's a free transfer. We needed a striker stroke attacking player, so we got it. And yeah, let it get behind. Let's not slate them on what Wikipedia says on how many goals they scored, and let's see what they do.
Oh my God, I've used this guy on FIFA. I didn't realise it was that guy.
Have you?
I'm looking at his card. Yeah, I built. See, when you start your team, I think he was in one of my opening packs. He's a 66 rated left winger for those. There's a silver 78 pace 60. He's not a great card in fairness, but I think he was in my base card on my Xbox version of Ultimate Team this year. So that's because I've definitely seen that card and this player before, and he's now a Wednesday player. But yeah, very solid. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how much he gets utilised. We've not really. Have we seen him at all? I'm trying to think. He hasn't come on, has he? No, he's not come on. He didn't come on.
It may start Tuesday. I think we're still waiting on international clearance. The one thing I got about this, though, was his interview talking about how Darren Moore sold the club.
Everybody's saying that. So clearly Darren Moore's doing a very good job. Well done, Darren.
Yeah, because it just keep going out. Like, people keep seeing it going, Darren Moore sold the club to him so well, and he was unsure before, and then he spoke to the gaffer, and the gaffer had gone, this is what I want you to do, this is what I'm building, and they'd all bought into it. So that's what you like to see.
Yep, and he isn't done yet. We're not going to make it a topic, but Darren Moore, he's sort of hinted in a lot of his media conferences that he wants more people in. So
he also said after the Donny game, if there's one or two we can get in, we will do. But if I can't get any more in, I'm happy with what I've got because they need to gel anyway.
Yeah, and it's a good position to be in. I think it's a good addition. We'll see how So gets on. So, Alex Hunt's gone out on loan to Grimsby Town.
There's also another loan that's happened, which I ain't put in this.
Yeah, Galvin's gone to a National League side.
Gloucester?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
But good fun to get.
Galvin's gone on a month with an option of a recall, and it'll probably be extended. It's just because we might. I think he's a fullback, Galvin, isn't he? So I think we've sent him out on a month because then we can we can recall him at any time, because as we just talked about when we were talking about Palmer, it's a position where we could fall short. So I think that's why he's only gone out on that. Alex Hunt, however, has gone until January to Grimsby. Yep. So we'll see
there was a deal that was in play for Luke Jackson after him signing a new 4-year contract, but apparently that's fallen through, but they're trying to work a deal so he can still go back, but they're going to work something out.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. But it is good seeing that these players are going out. Alex Hunt going to Grimsby, get some meat on him, get some league experience, and that'd be helpful for him to come back to us. Because as I said, I don't think he's ready to be in the. Yeah, he ain't ready to be in the first team. He's got talent, but he just needs to get used to that. And our midfield at the minute is definitely not a position we need to bring any more players into. It's the one position. It's gone from being quite temperamental, our midfield, to being solid. Yeah. And somebody in our midfield has talked about his aims for the season. Barry Bannon's been talking a lot this week about how, he sees us as promotion candidates and he wants to be there. I just love the passion he's got at the minute. We won't go into it too much, though, because there's no real need. It's just Barry Bannon is flying the flag as our captain. Now, let's go to our upcoming matches. So it does feel like this podcast might be shorter than our usual podcast, but it is sort of one of those transition podcasts where it's the transition back into the season. There's not a community section today because we tried to do it through Discord. We ain't doing it through Discord if people aren't going to respond to me in the Discord when I ask them for topics. But that's the thing. Make sure you got your Discord notifications on if you do join it, because when I ask for like topics in there and stuff, it might get lost if you've not got notifications on. But I tested it this week by just using the Discord. It didn't really work, so I'm going to go back to the community tab next week. But let's talk about the upcoming matches. So we've got Fleetwood Town. If you're watching this podcast on the day it goes out, that's tonight.
Yep.
Looking at their record, they've lost both of their games so far, with the last one being... Go on.
Fleetwood fans are not happy with Grayson. They are ready for him to walk.
Fair enough. The last one was a 2-1 loss at home to Lincoln. They've only scored once, and it was through a defender. So we don't have too much on paper to worry about with Fleetwood Town, but Sheffield Wednesday do like to gift teams something. The old Sheffield Wednesday did. We'll see how this new reinvigorated Sheffield Wednesday does. What do you feel about Fleetwood?
I think if we can get at them fast and early, they're there for the taking. The defences look a little bit of a mess at times, and we just got to be careful when they get crosses into the ball. They're very good, but with this defence now, we look a bit solid. So I'm expecting us to do pretty okay against them. But I know saying that this is the kind of team when in the past would be a bogey team going, oh, we should beat these easily, and we don't.
True. We'll have to see how that one goes. There is a bit more of a tasty match at the weekend. I can't go to this because I'm away. It's probably a good idea I don't go to this, actually. Because it can get a little bit fiery when it kicks off. But
it's spicy.
Got Rotherham at the weekend. Rotherham away. So they've won one, lost one. Obviously, this will change because they're playing Morecambe in the midweek. And Morecambe are actually
doing okay.
Doing all right, to be fair. So we'll see how it goes.
Well in League One.
Yeah. But they've won one, lost one. The last match was, at the time of recording, was a 1-0 loss at home to Wigan. They've scored goals through Ladapo and Miller for them so far, so players to keep an eye on those, though, too. Well, what do you feel in terms of
we know
Rotherham?
about Ladapo. He's the one who scored the 96th minute against us.
We were crap last season against Rotherham.
Yeah.
I don't think Rotherham are going to do amazingly well in this league this season. I think it's going to be a bit of a transition season for Rotherham, and I've said that. And yes, it could come back and bite me. And that doesn't mean I think that we're going to necessarily get one over them. I think over the course of the season, they might not yo-yo this time, but I don't ever like playing them.
Yep.
because they're always turning into scrappy matches. So we've got the one thing I would worry about is we've got younger players this time. Younger players in that situation, and they might not be used to the fact that those matches can get quite tense and quite heated towards the end.
But if you look at I know the Rovers game isn't a good example, but they've been in that kind of mini little rival, which they might, like we said, we don't class it rival, but there were some country tackles in there. It'll be interesting to see how the players respond and how they come for it. And you're going to have the likes of Barry Bannon, Hutch, who really want to do a number on them due to that last game. There's going to be players in that team who want to go, right, we weren't great last time. We're going to give it to you now.
I do think we'll win both of these matches. I'm putting it out there. I think we'll get 4 points, maybe. They're sort of like the optimist in me. It feels like 4 points, maybe.
Yeah. If we come away with us or 6, I'll be happy.
Yeah, and we've definitely got the ability to do that, you know. But Rotherham will fancy their chances as well. So we'll see how we get on. Let's talk about the League One roundup this week. Is not a roundup of transfers and things like that. It's just going to be me reading you the league table to let you know where everyone stands. So we've got 4 teams that have won both of their opening matches so far. They are Wycombe, Portsmouth, Sunderland and Burton. So Burton are helping me out on my predictions. God damn it, I put them quite low because I didn't think they were going to have a great season. There are then 5 further teams that are on 4 points, which are Morecambe, us. We're in 6th with our goal difference. AFC Wimbledon, thanks again. Thought they'd get relegated. We'll see. It's a long season. Lincoln City and Oxford United. And then there are 4 teams with 3 points. So they've won 1, lost 1. And that is Rotherham, Accrington Stanley, Wigan, and Plymouth Argyle. Jeffcott scored for them.
I know, I saw that.
And then there is 1 team with 2 points, and that is Bolton Wanderers. So that's 2 draws for Bolton. Solid start back in
cracking game
League
that
One.
As well.
Indeed. Oh, that was the 3-3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did think it was. I just had to check for a second. So then we've got 7 teams with 1 point there. MK Dons, Ipswich Town. Jesus Christ, Ipswich, what's going on? It's that thing we said they might take a while to gel, you know. Cambridge United, Charlton, Gillingham, Cheltenham, and Crewe. So that's decent for them. And then we've got 3 teams with no points. They happen to be, one of them is the team we're playing on Tuesday, which is Fleetwood Town, Doncaster Rovers, and Shrewsbury at the bottom of the league. Doncaster, a joint bottom of the league. Thought I'd mention that. So, yeah. 2 matches in. There's a lot to play for, but points on the board.
A lot of positivity.
And we are going to wrap up this episode today with having a look at the Sheffield Wednesday shirts. So, Punk's bought both. He, sorry for audio listeners, we'll try and describe him here. I'm not buying that home shirt. I'm not a massive fan of it. It's starting to grow on me a little bit more, but I'm definitely getting that away shirt
at some point. First.
I've not bought it straight away. I didn't get it on Saturday, but I think the away shirts, it looks good. What's the quality like?
Very good quality. I found no loose stitching like you do with the Elevate shirts.
Yeah.
It actually looked like a pink shirt, so there's none of that, like, is it pink, is it red, like we had with the old last year's shirt, where some people got it and it was green.
This one. Well, this is the thing. Yeah. It looks, on camera, this looks grey. It looks like it's supposed to look.
Yeah.
But I'm holding this here, and it has got a green hue to it, right?
Yeah.
And it just feels wrong, and I think it's because Macron are doing the thing where they the actual shirt's the same to what the players wear. So,
I absolutely love the badge on this shirt. I like that, but I also, like I mentioned in my thing, I bought shorts. I never buy shorts, and it's gonna sound really daft. The thing that got at me for the shorts was I like that.
That's quite nice.
I think that's
actually
class.
Is it? Is the shirt breathable?
Yes. So it's got a mesh on the back, as you can see here. There's like little mesh in the back.
Right, okay.
So it's really breathable. That is the away shirts.
What's the fit like? What's the fit like, though? Because the fit
I'm
is
a medium. It's a little tight than last year. So if you've got a bit of a belly and you're normally a medium and you've put the bit of weight on from lockdown, go up a size.
I've heard different. I've heard go up 2 sizes. Because, right, mate, I can fit in a large, right? After lockdown, it's a struggle. I'm quite tall as well, so larges tend to cut me off a little bit. But in the away shirt last season, I had to get a 2XL, right? So, and I've heard it's the same with the Macrons, get 2 sizes up. But then again, you've got nothing on you, Jake, whatsoever.
That's
so
it.
you don't mind if it's a bit tight anyway.
No.
But if I'd be wary.
A lot of people ask me what my height, what my weight, and I say that I want to say, right, I'm getting a lot of them, thanks for that. And they appreciate that because this is why I do the shirt reviews. Because there's a lot of overseas fans who will buy a shirt, get it, and then they can't send it back due to the sizing issue. So this is why I do the shirt reviews.
Yeah, the problem is the shirts are designed for people in great shape.
Yep.
Football fans are not always in great shape.
Ooh.
Myself included in that one at the minute. Jesus Christ, lockdown has ruined me. But is the fit the same on the home shirt? So we're looking at that now.
Same on the home shirt, yeah. That is same on the home shirt. Still not a big fan of that.
I hate that. I mean, you can see the numbers a little bit better, but I hate. Yeah. That's why I don't want it. I think that's so. Yeah. It's not a Wednesday kit to me if it's got a massive solid white back. You need the stripes all the way through.
The interesting thing here is look at the bad pavements on both.
Right, but that shirt is so much better. I would unstitch the badge and move it, right?
Yeah.
Because that Elevate shirt to me is, and I've got it in the drawer as well, is one of the best home kits we have had in years.
But because I do like this. I like the idea. Not like that one. I do like the pattern going through it. I had someone turn around. They didn't like the Macron logo where it is. I prefer that. In past years, they used to have the writing Macron on it, and that used to do my head in because it would be massive. I think that's quite subtle. Again, it's very breathable. You can see the holes. It's a bit tight when you put it on around your head, kind of thing, because they've not made much sure because it poppers.
Were you trying to put it on with your mohawk up, punk?
No,
no,
not that daft.
I think it's I don't know what I'm saying. I've lost my words. That's what I was doing because we've gone off topic. But I think the black cuffs work for me more. You know, they've gone all white with this Wednesday kit. But I think
interesting thing on the away shirt is the black and pink on the cuffs and the collar, which I like.
I love that shirt so much.
It is so nice. And funnily enough, there was more of a queue for this shirt than there was the home shirt. And I thought it would be the other way around.
It's so tidy though, isn't it? It's just the fact that for me, it's the black pattern all the way through that works for me as well. Because if it was just pink and it didn't have that texture in it, I think it'd look quite naff, to be honest. But it's just such a good shirt. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
I've already had the whole thing. People don't like it. I'm not wearing a pink's not a winter shirt. Never will be a winter shirt. Shirts or whatever you can make.
I can't believe you queued because the reason I didn't get it was because I wasn't queuing. Right, I don't do queuing. You'll know this if you know me.
I was second in the queue on Friday.
Oh yeah, you went before match day, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a better idea. To be fair,
I went when they said they were coming out, and I literally. The nice thing is, you knew what size you were. Where you just went to the till, said your size, got it, walked out. I wasn't in very long. But the queue for that away shirt was out the ground and going up the street at one point, apparently. So it's done popular.
Well, I'm just going to wait until it's online. Because the thing is, I'll buy it online, and then if it doesn't fit, I'll take it into the store. Yeah. And just be like, can I change it, please?
Also, for everyone saying, are we getting Big P on the back? No,
everybody's telling us to do it. Like, I'm not doing that again. I'm just not doing it. Also, there's still people that are getting. The fact is,
I knew they were coming.
I can't believe this, but apparently, like, one of the players refers to him. We won't say which one, but one of the players now refers to him as it, which I find quite funny. And I think people forget that originated on a stream where it was a mental
can people also
long stream.
remember? Dex's stream, not mine.
You get tagged in a lot of the Big P stuff, don't you? Because you've obviously got the shirt and we talk about it a lot. But yeah, it was literally one stream I was doing where the Big P thing came out, if you aren't aware, because, well, you know, when they were doing that fan calling, that wellness thing, I got a scam call rang and I put on Twitter, phone rang when I saw this tweet that Wednesday had been calling players, and I got all excited that Big P was going to call me. And then on that podcast, I mentioned this, that people had gone, why are you calling Big P and all of that sort of thing. And then it just went from there with the Big Dave and Big P thing. And for some reason, a player now calls it him.
And then stupidly, this one decided to go, if it gets to 150 likes, I'll get it on the shirt. Well, his community, when you put them on to doing stuff, will do it.
Yeah, but that didn't mean you had to do it as well.
I didn't do it though, did I? My missus did.
That's true. But yeah, Big P will live on in infamy now. We're really sorry, Pato. Really sorry.
I may be giving the club more money on shirts, but there is something that I have got planned for the pink shirt and having on the back, but it's a surprise.
Fair enough. So, we're going to end this podcast today with, I want you to send, I've put it on the community tab, I put it on Twitter, DM me, preferably email me. Can't get my words out today. Preferably email me, because it's easier for me to get them at the Talking Wednesday podcast at gmail.com. All your match day videos, we've already included one, probably of the Adeneering goal earlier on. We want to see who you're celebrating with in the stands. We want to see. We want to get it
more community based. This is what this podcast is.
Well, we've always been community based, you know. But we're back in stands. We don't want to lose that aspect. We want to bring in your videos, things like that. So there's one here from a viewer. I think it was actually Ben's Adeneering footage we used as well with the goal earlier. But he's took his daughter for her first match at Hillsborough.
Very nice.
And we thought we'd include that in the podcast this week. So here is that video. Come on! It's lovely to see. It's lovely to see somebody meet Hillsborough as if it was a person. I don't know what I'm chatting, but yeah, go to Hillsborough for the first time. Thank you for sending that in, Ben.
And if you want to send something where you're talking about the match, leave swearing to a minimum, none at all if you can, because it makes it easier for the podcast. But you want to put in your little mini match review as well, please do so.
I mean, I didn't know we were doing that, but I'm sure we can work. So anything you want to send, we will either use it or we won't send it.
It might be good.
Actually, forget I said that. Not anything you want to send. Right? Stuff from in the ground, stuff to do with Wednesday, we'll try and get. But also, make sure you're in the Discord, because if you're in the Discord, we're going to ask for specific stuff. But we want your match. We want your goal reactions. We want your crowd stuff. We want to see the crowd bouncing. We want to feel that, and we want to bring that into this podcast. So, I do a thing where if I'm at the matches, I've said this for years. If you've watched my videos, people always go, "Why don't you do as many vlogs?" Because I used to do occasional vlogs. Don't do them because I like to just get engrossed. But there is a lot of people there that still always have their cameras out. So if those people want to send me stuff in, I'll use it. You know,
I'm not a big fan of vlogging at games personally. I like to just watch it. If I wanted to watch it for a screen, I would have stayed at home and put telly on. That's me personally.
Well, I'm hit and miss on it. I do. If it's a big match, I'll do it because I know that my community want to share that with me. But it's very difficult for me to do because I actually there's been times where I've took stuff and realised I've just not got enough footage to really make a vlog because I get engrossed in the match, and that's what happens. But yeah, send all your stuff in to us. That's it from me this week, unless you've got anything else to add, Punk.
No, just take care of yourself and enjoy the next couple of games. They could be interesting, but just take care of yourself and be safe.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for watching this week's episode of Talking Wednesday, and we will see you next time.
See ya.